Welcome to yet another episode of the Enactus Perspective live at the Enactus South Africa National Exposition. My name is Thembalethu Shange and I'm back as your host for the season. As mentioned previously, we have everyone you can think of. Alumni, faculty advisors, and today we brought you the cream of the crop. People who have benefited from Enactus but also plowed right back into the organization. I'm right here with Mr. Thabani Joyisa, who's going to tell us a bit about his journey, who he is, and how Enactus has shaped his life. Joyisa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, so sure, you were part of Enactus a few years ago. Take us back to how it started and how you then became a part of the executive team.
Thanks, Thembalethu, for the opportunity and the sit-down. So I am affiliated with the institution EUKZN. So I was a student at Westville campus, and at the time they happened to have the SIFE program. It was still called Students in Free Enterprise. It was around 2011 that when I joined the program, and I participated in the campus of Westville until I got promoted to be in the team leadership at a campus level. So yeah, basically my years in Enactus has been those years, including the years that I've been participating as an Enactus SA alumni, which is it's been about 10 years now.
Okay, so you're fresh into varsity, you've got this program that you're really enjoying. Were you a leader in other programs or was this your first time being a leader?
I would say officially,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first time I was fully exposed to leadership.
Okay.
Yeah, so Enactus was my first experience of leadership.
Okay, I ask you this question because your tenure was one for the books, right? Take us through that. You had the finance portfolio, if I'm not mistaken. So, what did that encompass, and what great strides did you make during your time?
Yeah, so our portfolio as a finance team. So let me start from when I was still a campus finance. So a finance officer for the campus, Westville campus. As you know, University of KwaZulu-Natal has 5 campuses. So I was the campus finance for one campus, which was Westville. My task was to raise funds for the operations of the team as well as the projects to raise funds. So during those times, basically sell things and have programs that we run on campus at the quad to raise funds for the project, as well as approaching corporate companies for funding. So basically, that's how we would raise funds for projects. And then after a successful year of being a campus finance, the team saw it fit for me to, look after the entire pace of the
Love it.
organization. And yeah, we had very good success um, during those years, and I think that it was one of the most successful years of our times
Yeah.
financially as a team. We were able to, as the finance team, were able to raise more than R500,000
Oh, wow.
for our projects.
That's
for
in
a
like
single year.
2011, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was around those times.
that's a long time ago and so much money and the
Yeah.
value back then. Sure. Okay, cool. So the thing with the Enactus is that once the bug bites you, it's bitten you forever, right? Hence, you're still here, even 10 years later, serving as an alumni of, the organization. But regardless of being involved in Enactus, you still are an individual, right? You came to university to study your own specific degree, your own qualification. So what did you study and how has that, been a part of your journey, even in Enactus as well?
Yeah, so basically, I was like any other students on campus where I did my Bachelor of Commerce. I was attending classes, first year, second year. And then I was exposed to SIFE Enactus at the time because one of the um, leaders of the organization was staying in the same student residence with me,
Okay.
and they would do project. And I started to be interested and want to understand what they do and why they do what they do, and they explained the benefit. And I think that for me, it resonated with me because of the social entrepreneurship within me to help our communities and basically have tangible impact in terms of people's lives. So I knew when I was studying that my degree alone was not going to make me competitive in the market.
I love
I
that.
needed
Yeah.
something else to justify why I must be taken, or chosen for a role over so many graduates that were excelling academically. And so I realized that I need to come with a, real life, real world experience that I can demonstrate and justify why I must come up at the top of the list.
Okay, excellence is clearly embedded in your DNA at this point. So you now have learned this art of being excellent at what you do, trying to be the cream of the crop and maintaining that.
Mm,
Well, let's dive into Joyisa, the person who works now,
yeah,
who is Joyisa in that space, in the IT space? I think you're now in
yeah,
IT. What do you do there? I know a little birdie told me there's some special something that you have. Take us
something.
through that.
Well, so my journey has been an IT career. So
Mhm.
I started off my career in one of the top four banks.
Okay.
The Blue Bank. I started there
Mm,
in the graduate program as a graduate in the information security space.
okay.
That's cyber security.
Yeah.
So I started there as a grad, where I basically learned everything that I know now about
Mm,
cybersecurity and information security. And I worked for about 6 years at that bank.
okay.
And I was, basically headhunted by another bank,
Oh,
which
love
I've moved
it.
to for about a year and a half
Yeah.
before joining the current role that I am at
Okay.
with Discovery as the head of IT risk there,
Mhm.
supporting our South Africa business as well as the America business,
Okay.
and the rest of our markets. But before I move on into basically unpacking the roles and the day-to-day activities and some of the things that I do,
Yeah.
I just wanted to connect how I landed a job at one of the big four banks in South Africa, which is so very competitive.
Yeah.
So if you look at currently, how many students are being produced by our universities on an
Mm,
annual basis, the
yeah.
competition is very high.
Yeah.
So for you to sit and be selected, I remember chatting to someone from human capital
Mm,
in this bank that I started working at,
yeah.
and they told us that they received about 10,000 applications,
Sure.
about 10,000 applications,
Yeah.
and they only had to select 21
Oh,
students.
wow.
And I was one of those students. And part of the reasons why I was able to make the cut, I do strongly believe even today that it is because of how Enactus has trained me
Mhm.
to be a leader, to be a team player, because the assessments that they gave us, it
Yeah.
wasn't just you know, a, a, a sit down exam.
Mm,
You had to work
practical.
in teams, you had to demonstrate that you can integrate and be able to provide solutions and provide a platform for those that might not be as vocal as you,
Yeah.
but that have something to contribute. So I think participating in team meetings at
Yes.
Enactus, it really helped. Raising funds and being able to speak to sponsors and convince someone
Mm,
to give their CSI budget to us.
ish.
It's something massive
Yeah.
if you haven't even graduated. You just have a matric and a
Yeah.
few modules on your academic record, and you're already asking people to give you so much money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that what made me to be one of the top 21 students. And also I was a very busy student. Even during my times, I was selected as one of the top, I think, 21 students again. The number 21 likes me.
It's your lucky number, it seems.
So it's my lucky number.
Yeah.
So I was selected to be part of the Unilever Future Leaders when I was
Okay.
still a student
Yeah.
at UKZN.
Mhm.
And I was one of the top 21 students selected across South African
Wow.
universities. So basically, that also demonstrates that this program really adds value and basically prepares a student for the workplace.
Yeah, I love that you talk about what Enactus has done for you because a lot of the times we give to the organization because of time, passion,
Mhm.
just impact as well. But when you see also benefits coming your way, it's a very
Yeah.
beautiful, full circle moment to have. So why are you still here? 10 years later, as someone who's been out of university, what drives you to stick around for so long?
It's like how you said it.
Mm,
Once the mosquito bites you
yeah,
with
not a
the
mosquito.
with the Enactus bug,
Yeah,
so you can't live outside the program. Once you know
yeah,
the beauty and the impacts that this organization has on people
yeah.
and students, you basically you can't live without it. So even now,
Mm,
I drove down to Durban to see the team,
mhm,
to basically be in touch again with the program, with the
yeah.
project.
Mhm.
So I think for me, it's like an Orlando Pirates supporter like myself. Once a Pirate, always a Pirate. I think
Of course.
once an Enactus member, always an
Always.
Enactus member.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's that. Um, and knowing that this platform provide so much
Mhm.
for for the students, and I'm so convinced about this program as the solution to some of our issues on employment, and I'm also convincing other senior leaders at my company to join. We have a privilege of having a very, very senior person from Discovery here
Love
today
it. Yeah.
participate.
Did you hear
Yes,
that? There's seniors from Discovery present live here at
yes.
National.
So I'm
Okay.
bringing them here, and I'm hoping that Discovery will play a
Mm,
much integrated role
okay.
in this program in Actors per se. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so Enactus is all good and well, right? But as someone who's looking now from the outside in, what would you say are some of the challenges you see teams facing, and maybe a suggestion here and there for the teams that are going to be watching this interview?
Well, basically, knowing the organization, it has transitioned
Hmm.
from SAF to
Yes,
Enactus.
yes.
A lot has changed in terms of the configuration of the teams, the judging criteria. So a lot has changed, and the teams are also trying to catch up
Yeah,
in
yeah.
making sure that they address the new judging criteria and the new KPIs that have been put in place.
Hmm.
So I think the teams, what they need to do now is to make sure that they 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 develop sustainable projects. So because what I've seen a lot of teams, because I had the privilege of judging, is that a lot of our projects do not have, the required revenues for us to
I
compete at an
see.
international stage at the
Mm-hmm.
Enactus World Cup.
Yeah.
So we have beautiful projects, very innovative. They speak to our judging criteria, but they are fairly new. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that if they can go back to those projects and get the volumes and get the numbers,
Yeah.
so they need that. But from an Enactus SA perspective, I think the team is still in good leadership and in good hands. What we need to do as alumni, I would like to put a challenge on alumni as well,
Love it.
that are close to people who make decisions to bring their employers here, to bring
Yeah.
their senior leadership here to see this, because not only an employer can participate here and fund the program, but they can also you know get first-hand opportunity of recruiting from these
Yes.
wonderful kids that are so smart that are here. So yeah, you don't have to go through any recruitment agent. You just come in here and then just take students for free, give them employment.
How beautiful is that? You just come to nationals and get a job at Discovery, maybe, you never know. Thank you so much for that. Before we let you go, from an alumni perspective, in 3 words, describe your Enactus journey. Just adjectives.
I would say my journey has been interesting.
Hmm.
I think interesting sums it up, but I would say interesting, challenging, rewarding.
Interesting, challenging, rewarding. That is how we wrap up this conversation. I absolutely love the last one of being rewarding, because indeed it is absolutely rewarding to be a member of Enactus, whether you're from the outside in as a student or an alumni or a faculty advisor and the like. Thank you so much for joining us. That was our interview with Joyisa. See you on the next one. Ciao.